Welcome to the Unapologetic Mompreneur, the podcast for mums with an online business who are ready to take back their time, home, business, and self so they can restore the balance and thrive, both at home and at work, without feeling like they have to choose between the two. I'm your host, Sarah Dew, life and biz coach for mompreneurs. I'm also a mum, stepmom, wife, introvert, breast cancer survivor, and your mentor for making a change for the better. I've learned how to go from surviving to thriving and unapologetically create a business I love and the life I want for me and my family without worrying about what other people think. And now I'm here to help you do the same. Because being an unapologetic mompreneur doesn't mean that we're selfish or that we don't care about others. It simply means that we are not afraid to show up as our true, authentic selves, to step into our purpose, do what we know is right for ourselves and the ones we love, and take the steps we need to take to make our dream life and business a reality. Join me each week where I'll be sharing all of my best tips and strategies, plus the occasional dose of tough but gentle love to help you feel empowered, motivated, and confident to take action so that you can become the mum, wife, biz owner, and woman you know you are meant and deserve to be. So, are you ready to unapologetically create a business and life you love? Let's do this. Hey there, and welcome to episode 34 of the Unapologetic Mompreneur podcast. In this episode, I am sharing with you 5 mindset shifts that you can make that will help you to go from surviving to thriving in your mompreneur journey. These are 5 mindset shifts that I personally have made that have really helped me to push past some of the things that were holding me back, to feel more confident, and to be able to show up as myself and attract my dream clients. Mindset shifts that have helped me to push past my doubts and to trust myself more, to trust my judgment, and to have the confidence to show up as me, but also just to keep going on those days where we're having a tough time and things aren't going right. Because mompreneurship can sometimes feel like a lot like a roller coaster ride with the ups, the downs, the twists, and the turns. And sometimes those corkscrews and the loop-the-loops, they can be pretty challenging, especially in the early days when we are still trying to figure out how to juggle all things home life, mum life, and biz life. But this past few years since starting my business, I have learned that there is one thing that can make all of the difference in our ability to navigate those challenges, so that we can see the success that we want and deserve, both at home in our businesses. And that is having the right mindset, because mindset is everything. And so if you struggle with doing all of the things of maintaining a positive mindset, if you find it hard to pick yourself back up and dust yourself down when things haven't gone quite right, or you're judging your ability to do something and find that you're beating yourself up all of the time and you're struggling to show up and shine and be you and grow your business, these mindset shifts are really going to help you turn all of that on its head and go from surviving to thriving and see the success that you deserve. The first mindset shift is embracing imperfection. Oh man, this was a tough one for me as a recovering perfectionist. Trust me when I say that perfection is an illusion. There is no such thing as perfect. And all chasing perfection does is set us up for failure before we even start. I cannot tell you the number of times I didn't do things in my business because I couldn't make them perfect. I would spend hours writing blog posts and creating new products, and then I just wouldn't put them out there because in my eyes, they were not perfect. But here's the thing, there is no such thing as perfection. Perfection doesn't exist. If perfectionism is something that you struggle with too, try shifting your mindset from one of striving for perfection to embracing imperfection. Remind yourself that making a mistake is simply part of the learning process. Instead of fearing failure, embrace it as an opportunity for growth and improvement. Know that things don't have to be perfect in order for you to put things out there. One of my favorite things about having an online business is that everything that we post online, we can change it and tweak it if we want to. So instead of aiming for a perfect website or a perfect about page, just get it out there and know that you can tweak it and change it later on. Instead of aiming for that perfect blog post, know that you can go back online and you can tweak it if you want to later. Just get it out there. Embrace that imperfection. You will find that your confidence increases to put things out there, and that you're not setting yourself up for failure before you even start, because you're doing that, well, what's the point? Because it's not going to be perfect. This was something that I struggled with for such a long time. But once I started giving myself permission to put things out there imperfectly, that was when I started to see a change. That was when I got more confident to create more things. That was when I could actually then hit the publish button. Try shifting your mindset from striving for perfection to embracing imperfection. Aim for progress over perfection. Know that done is better than perfect. One of my new favorite mantras that I came across the other day while watching one of my favorite workout channels, she shared in that practice equals progress. I was attempting to dance around doing my workout, could not get all of the steps, and I was getting really frustrated. It was a dancing walking workout with a few steps in it that I hadn't done before, and it was like a hip bump or something, and I couldn't do it. I was getting really cross, and I was about to go, I'm not doing this. I'm going to turn it off because I'm not getting it right. It's not working. And I'm going to find a different workout instead. And she actually said, like she was reading my mind, she said, practice equals progress. She says none of her dance students get the steps the first time around, but when they keep doing it, they repeat it and they embrace imperfection, that is when it starts to work, because practice does not make perfect. There is no such thing as perfect. She says practice equals progress. And she is totally, totally right. So if you are struggling with perfectionism, shift that mindset from striving for perfection to embracing imperfection, and tell yourself that practice equals progress. The more you do something, the better at it you will get. Doesn't mean that you're going to be perfect, but it means that you are going to have the confidence to go out there and do it again and again and again. So that is the first mindset shift. Embrace imperfection. The second mindset shift is to treat things as an experiment. And this is a great follow-on from the embracing imperfection. Because if you struggle to put things out there and you're worrying about what the results are going to be, whether it's perfect, whether it's going to flop and fail, this mindset shift will allow you to embrace that imperfection and put yourself out there. A huge part of mompreneurship is stepping out of your comfort zone and doing things that you have never ever done before. And sometimes that can be really, really scary. Those what ifs and that fear of being judged, of whether it's going to go right or fall flat on its face, of being visible and failing, can be totally debilitating, and they can stop you from taking action if you let it. I cannot tell you how long those fears and those wonderings kept me stuck in my business. They really did hold me back for so long, because I was constantly worrying about those what ifs. I was worrying about things being perfect, of being good enough, of me falling flat on my face and messing up. But one of the ways that I overcame this was to learn to treat things as an experiment, to resist the urge to attach outcomes or expectations to things, to tell myself that I'm just going to go out there, have fun, try something new and see what happens. And once I started embracing this mindset shift, it made it so much easier for me to actually just give things a go and do things without worrying about what the outcome is going to be. Now, I cannot take credit for this mindset shift for coming up for it myself. This actually came from one of my accountability buddies. And she actually said to me one day on one of our calls, just treat it as an experiment. I was stressing about whether to do it or not, and I was scared. I was worried about what people would think, whether it would work. And she's like, I just treat things as an experiment. I don't attach anything to them. And it was just like, oh my goodness, that is what I need to do. I just need to focus on things as being as an experiment, to not put pressure on myself of what the outcome is going to be, to not attach the success of that to and make it personal about whether I am good enough or not, to detach myself from that and to just go out there and have fun, that I'm going out and connecting with people, making connections. I'm seeing what happens. I'm going to put that product out there and give it a go. Maybe people don't like it, but that's okay. But now at least I know. Treating things as an experiment and resisting the urge to attach outcomes or expectations to them makes it so much easier for you to go out and do something, because you're not putting pressure on yourself of succeeding and the end result. You're just going to go out there, see what happens, have fun, try something new. It really does help squash some of those fears and make stepping out of your comfort zone a whole lot easier. And once you've done it, you then know whether it works or not, or whether it is for you or not. Because if you don't do it, you will never know. So if you struggle with that, of stepping out and stepping out of your comfort zone, of trying something new, worrying about whether it's good enough or perfect or whether it will work, just treat it as an experiment. Just say, I'm going out there, I'm having fun, and I'm going to see what happens. It is super, super freeing. The next mindset shift is to focus on solutions, not problems. It is so easy to focus on what is not going right, but all this does is cause frustration and overwhelm. It also fosters a ton of negativity and makes us feel like nothing is going our way. Rather than getting bogged down by challenges and things that aren't going your way, try approaching things with a problem-solving mindset instead. Shift your mindset from dwelling on problems to focusing on solutions, and then rather than getting upset, you will feel empowered to take the next steps needed to resolve the issue. I've learned this one from my husband. He is so good at this. He is so fixed on focusing on the solution rather than the problem, and it really helps him to get things done. And I have had so many occasions in an evening where I've sat down moaning about things not going right, that I'm frustrated and I can't figure it out and I don't know what to do. And he's like, what is the solution? What are you going to do? You got a choice. You can carry on moaning about it, or you can fix it and come up with a solution for it. Stop focusing on the problem and figure out what the solution is. And he was just so left to me, like, Sarah, what is the solution? What are you going to do? And it really does help you switch things around. Because like I said, instead of getting upset when something doesn't go to plan, you just go, okay, fine, that is the problem. That's fine. What is the solution? How am I going to fix this? And you will always find a way to fix it, whether it is getting help from somebody else, learning how to do something, outreaching to other people, or just sometimes just putting your big girl thong on and actually doing the work and just diving in and fixing it and getting things done. Focusing on the solution instead of the problem really does make you feel empowered to take the steps needed to resolve the issue. And instead of spinning in circles, thinking about things not going right, when you're focusing on your solution focused, actually you find it so much easier to come up with the answer to the problem. I have done that so many times now. When I start spinning in circles and I'm getting stuck and I feel like things aren't going right, I get solution focused, and very quickly, within 5 to 10 minutes, I have come up with the answer that I need to help me resolve the issue. So next time you are faced with a problem, ask yourself how you can fix things, break the problem down, brainstorm all kinds of possible solutions, pick one and take action. Mindset shift number 4 is to practice self-compassion. Are you treating yourself as your own best friend or your own worst enemy? I have definitely had times where I have been my own worst enemy and said things to myself that I would never dream of saying to anybody else. But those times where we're struggling and we're feeling like we're failing, that is when we need to treat ourselves with kindness and compassion and understanding more than ever. I used to beat myself up so much. I would be so super hard critical on myself and just tear myself down and say such mean things to myself about how I was rubbish, that I wasn't capable, that I couldn't do this, and who was I to think that I could do that? And I used to be so mean to myself. And there are times now where I do still do that, but I've learned to recognize when I'm doing it and to actually practice some self-compassion. I've learned to treat myself as my own best friend instead of my own worst enemy, to not be so hard on myself. And when I catch myself being hard on myself, to switch that mindset and that inner dialogue from self-criticism to one of self-compassion, to be nice to myself, to give myself the encouragement and support that I would give to anybody else, and actually just stop and be nice to myself. Next time you are being hard on yourself, switch your mindset to that practicing of self-compassion. Change that inner dialogue from something of self-criticism to one of self-compassion. Say something nice to yourself. Give yourself credit for your efforts and your achievements, no matter how big or small they might be, and offer yourself that same love, support, and kindness that you would give to a friend facing a similar challenge. Stand there and give yourself a hug. Tell yourself that it's going to be okay. Tell yourself that you have got this because you are capable, because you have achieved so many other things already, that why can you not then accomplish what you are working on right now? That you are worthy, that you deserve to have the things that you want to have. Be your own best friend instead of your own worst enemy. Try and catch those negative thoughts and just give yourself a moment and give yourself that hug, and then turn it around and say something nice to yourself. Give yourself that hug and tell yourself that you have got this, that you are worthy, that you deserve this. Because when you practice that self-compassion, that is when you are going to feel more connected to yourself. You are going to trust yourself. Your self-love and your self-worth will increase. And as a result, you will feel more confident, you trust yourself, and you're going to have the confidence to go out there and do things because you know that you have got your back. So that is mindset shift number 4. Practice self-compassion and treat yourself as your own best friend, not your own worst enemy. Finally, mindset shift number 5 is to cultivate a positive outlook. Do you view things with glass half full or glass half empty? If you are looking at things from a glass half full perspective, you are far more likely to attract positivity in your life. Not only that, but it makes it much easier for you to find the strength and the resilience you need to deal with whatever life throws your way to. Practice gratitude for the blessings that you have in your life and focus on the things that you can control rather than dwelling on the things that you can't. We cannot control everything that happens to us and everything that happens in our life, of the things that happen in our business, but we can control the way that we respond to it. I can't remember who said the quote now, but it's one that always sticks in my mind whenever I'm having a tough time and I'm torn between positive or negative and I can't control what is happening, is that your life is, was it 10% what happens to you and 90% how you react? And it is so true. We cannot control the things that happen to us, but we do have a choice about how we react. We can choose to be positive about it, or we can choose to be negative about it. And how we choose and the outlook that we choose to adopt then impacts how we feel about the rest of our life and the things that are going on. When things crop up that you can't control, ask yourself what you can do about it. How are you going to react to it? You can choose to react positively or negatively to it. You can choose and find ways to either eliminate what you can't control or mitigate how much of an impact it has on you. And just to remind yourself that you can't choose what happens to you, but you can choose how you respond to it. Opt for that looking at things with a glass half full, and you will be amazed at how much more positivity you have in your life and how much easier it is for you to find that strength and resilience for you to deal with whatever comes your way. Choose to see challenges as opportunities. Choose to see setbacks as lessons and look at failures as your stepping stones to success. When you adopt that glass half full attitude instead of glass half empty, you will see challenges as opportunities. You will see setbacks as lessons that you can take and learn from. And those failures, instead of feeling like you have failed, that you have messed up and there's no point in carrying on, you can see them as stepping stones to success, because you can take those lessons from them and you can see what worked and what didn't, what tweaked, what you need to do next, and get closer and closer to where you want to be. Mindset really is everything. And mindsets are our most powerful tool. And when we have the right mindset, anything is possible. Things have changed so much for me, both in my business and in my life, by adopting these mindset shifts. And they can totally do the same for you. Like I said at the beginning, mompreneurship really does feel like a roller coaster ride sometimes. And those corkscrews and loop-the-loops can be challenging. But by having those mindset shifts and having that right mindset, that is what's going to empower you to keep going, to go from surviving to thriving in your mompreneur journey. And so if you feel like you're having those days where you're struggling, that you're beating yourself up, that you're not where you are right now, that you don't have the confidence to put yourself out there, adopt these 5 mindset shifts. Embrace imperfection. Know that there is no such thing as perfect. Aim for progress over perfection, knowing that practice makes progress and that making a mistake is simply part of the journey. Embrace it as an opportunity for growth and improvement. Mindset shift 2 was to treat things as an experiment, to resist the urge to attach outcomes and expectations to the things that you are doing so that you have the confidence to step out of your comfort zone. to tell yourself that I'm just going to put it out there. I'm going and having fun. I'm trying something new and I'm going to see what happens. Focus on solutions, not problems. Give yourself a moment to acknowledge that you have got a problem, but be solution orientated. Then say, okay, how am I going to fix this? Shift that mindset from dwelling onto the problems to focusing on the solutions, and you'll be so much more empowered to take the steps you need to take to resolve the issue. Number 4 was practice self-compassion. Treat yourself as your own best friend, not your own worst enemy. Give yourself the compassion you deserve, and next time you'll find you're being hard on yourself, switch that inner dialogue from one of self-criticism to self-compassion. Give yourself a hug, tell yourself that you've got your back, and keep going. And then finally, cultivate that positive outlook. Go for the glass half full option rather than the half empty thing. Choose to see challenges and opportunities, setbacks as lessons, and failures as stepping stones to success. Embrace these 5 mindset shifts and you will empower yourself to not only navigate those challenges of mompreneurship with confidence, resilience, and optimism, but you will be so much more likely to see the success that you deserve too. You have got this, mama, and I am here cheering you on every step of the way, and I can't wait to chat with you in the next episode. Bye for now. Thank you so much for joining me for another installment of the Unapologetic Mompreneur podcast. If you like what you heard, be sure to hit that subscribe button so that you never miss an episode. And if you have a moment, I would love for you to leave me a rating and a review so that other mompreneurs can find this podcast too. Here's to unapologetically becoming the mum, wife, biz owner, and woman you know you are meant and deserve to be. I can't wait to chat with you in the next episode. Bye for now.